we're putting casters in this old upright, which is a very common thing. The old casters, these old steel casters, they mark up people's floors pretty badly, and it's just really ugly, and they don't roll very well. They're also generally, they just don't turn terribly well, and also after 100 years of sitting in different configurations, they just get all flattened, and it's just not good. They just don't roll very well. So we're going to put in a new caster. These new casters, they got bearings on them. They roll really well, double rubber, so they spin just super easily. But the problem is we don't have enough space. You can see when that goes in, we're going to put a little receiver in there, but there's nowhere near enough space. So we want to avoid lifting it up. That is actually one option with these little shims, and I've used washers or various things. When that goes in, you could lift it up a little bit, but it's just not ideal, because then you have the whole piano is a little bit higher, and you have the pedal then is quite a bit higher, so you can't, you have to like totally crane your ankle really high to get up to the pedal if the whole piano is lifted up. So kind of put this in a little bit too far. So what we're going to do here is we're going to route out the sides, open that hole up a little bit. We're going to do the same thing here, because we got the same issue, but we have to be very careful, because we don't want to get too close. We're already pretty close to the edge there on both sides of that toe block. So we're going to use this bit, this router bit. We've got this wheel here, the bearing that rides against the inside. I don't know if you can see that. So it'll ride there, and then that blade that'll tear things up nicely. So maybe I'll start. Okay, where I have it set right now, you can set the router. You have to open up the collar, and then you can either go little by little with that little wheel there, and that changes the how far in or out the router bit sticks, out of the collar there. So I think I'll start about there. We're having the bit about flush with the little, I don't know what that's called, top of the collar, little table. Okay. Now, I have to emphasize, routers are crazy dangerous. I mean, it's spinning like 10,000 RPMs, and it's a blade. So I'm definitely going to wear eye protection, and I'm just going to hold tight. You don't want to drop this thing while it's spinning. And you kind of have to be careful as well, because it's kind of an uneven surface. So as I'm going around, this isn't exactly a flat surface to ride against there on the table. So just got to hold tight. Okay. Well, that opened it up a little bit. Let's see if we can do a little bit more. Maybe the other direction. Go far down as I can. Let's see how that's going to look. Give me that screwdriver behind you. We're going to have to open that up quite a bit still. We're going to try a different bit. So rather than this angled bit, this like cone shaped, I'm going to try that one. Again, it's crucial that you have the bearing on there so we can ride around right there, but that's going to take off quite a bit more. So step one is to unplug it. Don't forget that when changing your bit. Please, please, please don't forget that. Okay, I'm going to push on this particular router until that clicks. Okay. All the while I'm holding that down, which locks the thing. Okay, get that nice and tight. Okay, glasses back on. I'm going to try it again with this, again, kind of all the way down. Lock the collar, should be ready to go. So I was holding that pretty tight, taking off a lot of wood there, so please hold that tight. Okay, looks like we're good, or well, no, it's still rubbing in here. So maybe I can I get that? Sometimes I've just taken a chisel and chiseled away at where it catches. And I'm not gonna, ooh, that's pretty close. Of course, with the weight of the piano, you've got to, when checking it 360 degrees, you always got to account for the weight of the piano. So of course you're not going to be able to like push in as hard as the piano is going to be, you know, pushing down with gravity. But at least you can get kind of close, and you can kind of estimate, okay, if I'm able to push in and I'm able to, you can hear it kind of grinding in there, then you know that when the piano's up on its all its weight, like it's not going to spin all the way around. So you got to be sure that you can't get, when pushing in just with, you know, as strong as you can, that you're not getting anywhere near that wood. Okay, so right now it looks like, let's get the camera in here closer. Looks like when I'm about here, where it's catching is it's these 2 points there. So one option would be to raise it up, whoops, by that much. And that does it. And I don't see, up here's where I'm most concerned. Yeah, see, like right there, you know, even with it raised up, it's getting too close for comfort to right there. So I think what I'll do is I'll do a combination of putting in a shim and using a chisel. So hold on for part 3. Chisel time. So we got the shim on there, and I think, by the way, I was talking about how, you know, raising it up, you end up having to crane your foot to get to the pedal. I think I'm okay with raising it up only that much. That's not very much. I think these little shims were in there originally anyway, so I think we're okay. So let's see where it's getting too close for comfort. Looks like down there where we've got some good clearance. Are you getting the camera right in there? See, as I'm pushing it, you know, we're nowhere near. And it's looking like here and here are where the issues are. Can you see that on camera? Mm-hmm. So this is getting close. This part here is getting close there. And then the wheel itself, the rubber itself, is getting close there. Got a nice sharp chisel. At least it looks pretty sharp, feels pretty sharp. Okay, see if that took care of it, at least for the upper. Yeah, it looks like we've got lots of clearance there now, even when this bends slightly under the weight of the piano. Plenty of clearance there. Now we just need to clean up the inside a little bit. Chiseling works a lot better when you're going with the grain than to the side or against the grain. I think that opened it up quite a bit. Now, if I push on it, get a shot of me kind of far away. So I'm going to kind of brace myself against the piano, like really push. And yeah, it's really got good clearance all the way around. So now I need to separate that. That brass collar really holds it on there pretty well. So I'm going to put the shim on first. Then put it in there. Screw that on there. Then this will go on. And then with the screwdriver, pop that back in, and we'll have a good, properly installed caster.